as I mentioned. 140.6 on the scales for Pedro Lopez. Height advantage, reach advantage going to the 20-year-old Caden Adkison. Both fighters are inside. Let's get our introductions.
The following contest, brought to you by OnlyFans, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury Amateur Series Bantamweight Division. Introducing your first competitor, fighting out of the blue corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he weighed in at 135.2 pounds. Fighting out of San Antonio, Texas, his amateur record stands at 3 wins, only 1 defeat. Here is Caden, the Rage Adkison. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 140.6 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, by way of La Crescent, Minnesota, his amateur record also stands at 3 wins, only 1 defeat. Here is Pedro Lopez. Your referee in charge of the action, Danielle Guevara.
Caden Adkison, blue gloves. Pedro Lopez, red gloves. Ooh. And Pedro Lopez is built like a tank.
Yeah, I heard his wrestling was really good. Caden's got really sharp striking. He's got a very well-rounded game, but he's really shown his best, ability on his feet, switching stances, kicking the legs, changing the level of his punches.
Beautiful transitions here from Caden.
He's got to clear his head. Does Lopez. He cannot let Adkison figure 4 those legs.
Getting close to it.
Got it.
Oh, man.
That's very close.
He's got to prioritize the figure 4, though. I mean, this is where Lopez, to the armbar, but he steps over. It's really slick transition work there from Lopez defensively.
Yeah, very nice sequence there from both guys. Good attempt by Caden.
Yeah, their coaches
just sliding out of that.
The coaches at war asking Lopez to go into half guard. I could not agree more. The half guard strat. I mean, you don't got to worry about submissions if you're in top half guard. Strong entry to a back.
Pedro Lopez just instantly slamming Caden Adkison.
You got to make sure all that energy spent is, worthwhile. Those dumps are awesome, but Adkison did get right back to his feet. Good body work from Lopez.
Adkison answers with a few uppercuts there. Good right hand from Lopez.
To Adkison, he is slick on the feet. We saw him in San Antonio just brutalize one of his opponent's legs. Low kicks. I think he got a low kick TKO. Oh, really nice caught front kick into a double leg. That was cool.
30 seconds left in round 1.
It's funny, whether it be jiu-jitsu tournaments or MMA, I have my students recite like a mantra. I'm like, what is the goal? They say half guard is the goal. Like, the goal is not to get stuck in closed guard. It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
I mean, we just saw Alon in his last fight. Got taken down pretty hard from a caught kick, just into a brutally awesome armbar.
Under 10 seconds. And he grabbed that arm as soon as he saw it. Did Alon.
A very entertaining first round. Good round by both guys. Both guys had some highlights there. Lopez with a couple of takedowns, a lot of topside time. But Adkison doing a good job of staying out of trouble. Didn't take much damage. really difficult round to call, but man, I think it has to be a Lopez round.
So yeah, from what we've kind of seen, they're doing a good amount of position scoring, you know. And the triangle was good, but it was never fully figure four. And the armbar was never really in position either. So like submission attempts, but very, you know, shallow. I think the positioning of Lopez won him the round as well.
All right, we'll see what adjustments are being made. We get to round 2.
Caden in his corner looking a little aggravated at himself about how the first round went, but man, didn't take any damage.
No.
Did well against a big, strong opponent.
Seems like he maybe, you know, used less energy too. Oh.
Nice left hand.
Oh, combo there for Adkison.
Adkison's lowered his base. He's standing lower.
And very creative with the striking to start the second round.
Lopez has hit some good slip and rips and then mixing it up with some strong kicks. You know, it's funny, both guys actually showing improvements as round number 2 starts.
Yeah, you got to think Adkison's corner told him to lay off the kicks for a little bit. Let's throw those hands, not give him the opportunity to catch those kicks or to kind of fill that space when he throws those kicks.
Oh, man.
Nice punch on the break there from Lopez.
Keep pressing. Cover the body as well. Do something. Everything. Yes. Beautiful. Nice knee.
Good knee there, followed up by a right there for Lopez.
Eat up that space.
And Lopez just walking down Adkison, not afraid of that striking.
No, not at all. And he's doing a great job being efficient on the output with his strikes. He's like throwing to just land. He's not really sitting down on shots that doesn't need to. You know, usually guys with this build, they really plan throw. And he's actually being quite accurate and technical, especially on the break. And I think his threat of that is really showing us a different Caden Adkison, where Adkison can't free flow like he likes to. And I think that was the frustration you saw on his face coming into round 2.
To the ground we go.
Yeah, you can see Lopez is stronger of the 2 fighters. Adkison in good position there, but Lopez still able to elevate him and get him down to the mat. He's going into the mount now. He's got that 3/4 mount. He's still got the foot on the inside, but he goes to full mount now.
Trying to maybe circle those legs away from the cage. Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
Flattens him out. Adkison rolls.
Adkison did a good job of getting to a position where he didn't have the mount, didn't have his bag, but you're going to take some damage from those positions when you're trying to get out of there. So you cannot stop when you get to a safe position because you're right in punching range.
Put his head on the wall. Walk left, stack kids. Walk left. Yes.
See, now that coach is trying to have Lopez walk Adkison's feet away from the cage.
10 seconds left in round 2.
Man, big ground shots. Good finish. That was a good round for Lopez.
Yeah. Lopez showing some versatility there. You know, first round, the story of his takedowns were catching the kicks and, you know, kind of intruding on those kicks. And here, where, you know, he's crowding more, he's setting up those takedowns, able to get in tight into that pocket to get this to the ground.
His striking was sharp and it set up his really strong wrestling. And I think he won that round very clearly.
Yeah.
He actually seemed more fresh in round 2 than round 1. Maybe settled into the pace, you know.
Round 3, sorry, coming your way. We still have one more amateur fight. Kate Foradori taking on Brian James.
That's effectively our amateur main event. That's a great fight.
Yes,
it really is.
That's going to be such a good fight. And then we have 3 pro fights as well. 4:30 p.m. we head to UFC Fight Pass. So thank you for joining us here. If you're watching on YouTube or the Facebook live streams, we appreciate it. And all you YouTubers, I do go back and read the comments. Be kind. YouTube can be a mean place sometimes.
Yeah, you know, I've never read the comments on the YouTube page.
I just see them by accident. When I go back and watch the fights to prep, I'll always see the live comments, right? And love it. A lot of people watching on YouTube, so we appreciate it. Keep sharing the stream and on Facebook as well. Free fights on a Sunday right now, and then 4:30 on UFC Fight Pass. Good start here, round 3.
Earlier in the card, we had talked about the risk versus reward equation on throwing the knees against the wrestler. And Adkison threw a flying knee, you know, hoping Lopez was going to shoot. But as soon as he jumped and realized the shot wasn't happening, Lopez actually countered the flying knee with a shot. So, I mean, that's that. If it lands, you're in a good spot. But if it doesn't, you know, you get almost taken down for free. That was a good progression in a half guard. Lopez seems pretty hip. He has not panicked at all while Adkison is attacking these triangles. He just kind of slips his head out of position, advances his legs, and puts on some ground and pound.
And I think he's passed the test for his new team over there.
Yeah.
And he's doing really, really well against a really skilled fighter here in Caden Adkison.
Yeah, I mean, if he wins, I'd put him at 4-1, which is, you know, nice takedown championship, you know, level record work. You know, but he's got to make sure he does make the weight.
Yeah.
You know, a 5-pound miss is a big miss.
That's really big, right? So that's something to clean up. But hey, and by the way, props to Caden Adkison. Said, yeah, I still want this fight. I don't care.
Yeah.
And he really feels like he could. You know, one, he really feels like he can fight with anybody, and two, he really wants to fight, right?
And you know, as when you're a pro, it's different. If they missed weight, they're really looking at something, you know, to talk about. But as these amateurs, even Alon's opponent busted by like 4 pounds.
Yeah.
And he was like, Coach, you know, should I fight? I was like, do you want to fight? And he said, yep. I was like, then fight. You know, you're amateurs. You know, that's the fighting spirit. You're not getting paid for it just yet. You know, this is what we're learning, our craft. So like, let this be a great lesson for Lopez, making weight. Let this be a good lesson for Adkison when he does go pro. Maybe we're a little more stringent on fights we accept, or at least get paid for it. I think Lopez knows he can wrestle him well, and he's staying active as Lopez with his ground and pound, with his transition work.
That's the one thing when we get to the pro side, when guys miss weight, you know, if it's by a pound, if it's by 0.8, whatever it is, their opponent says no. It's frustrating sometimes, right? Like, we're really excited for matchups, but they have the right to do it. None of this would have been an issue if you had just made weight, right?
If anyone is ever like, you know, why would they not fight? Stephen Wonderboy Thompson once made a post when Michel Pereira busted weight against him. Read that post. It explains it in the most elegant, professional way possible. It should be the standard for why we shouldn't bust as professionals.
Yeah.
Especially in the UFC. Huge performance here from Pedro Lopez. I mean, he's new on the scene here in Fury, and you know, he really did do a good job in this fight. I think we may see a 30-27, you know, 29-28 at worst, but I mean, that was a strong performance. Mixed it up well, struck well, wrestled well, showed some very good defensive grappling when passing the guard. That was a good fight.
Yeah, we may have another prospect here at 135. I mean, for a while, and I mean, it still is that way, but our 125 and 135 class is top of the heap here for a regional show anywhere in the country. And you know, Pedro Lopez, don't know when he's planning on making his pro debut, and he's a problem for somebody at 135 as long as he gets that weight under control. But I expect he'll do that. He's been out for a few years, probably been at, you know, hasn't cut weights in a while. So, but I expect his next fight he'll have that under control, and I don't think it'll be an issue ever again.
Man, good pressure, good control for Pedro Lopez. We saw some good work on the feet as well for him. For Caden Adkison, met a guy who stylistically probably not the best matchup, but definitely shows you something to improve on. Let's see how the judges rule this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of combat, we go to the judges' scorecards for your decision. Brought to you by DeNunaLawFirm.com. All 3 judges scored the fight 30-27, declaring a winner by unanimous decision, Pedro Lopez.
Good sportsmanship there by Caden Adkison. Pedro Lopez getting that win, returning back to fighting. Good to see him back in the cage. Can't wait to see him again. That leaves us with one more amateur fight. Let's meet our next fighter.